Well, hello, EKN Nation. Back at it once again here in the EKN studio for a face-to-face episode. My name's Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. And as you know, throughout the season, we've talked to a bunch of promoters that are putting on racing events, racing series. We got a new one for you. This is actually really interesting. David and I kind of learned about this, quite a while back, and it actually got rolling already. And David, it's the Rotax Racing Club California, based at Sonoma Raceway. Formerly KFX is the program that runs it. Philip Pegler and Bobby Wilson will be joining us today. But something new, David. We're seeing a lot of this arrive and drive stuff come that is really, as we keep talking about, lowering the barriers of entry and allowing people to come racing without having to make that big, huge investment in carts and a trailer and you name it, right?
Well, we're getting that kind of ladder system within the sport of karting. Obviously, we have indoor karting, then you have outdoor rental, and then the big jump was into competition karting. So this is a program that's kind of that step in between to go from outdoor, indoor rental carts into kind of almost purpose-built arrive and drive programs that are based around competition karting, but not. It's that kind of that bridge. It's a little bit of both. You're learning how to kart, and you also have the opportunity to compete at certain events in this program. And this is something that's not just here in the United States; it's also international. Yeah. So it has some backing with Rotax. It has backing with Barrel Art as well. So two major players in the industry worldwide in karting. So it's not something that's just out the back of one racetrack. This is something that they're looking. It's kind of the building blocks of what is going to be a big international program.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And again, this is a really interesting program. They've got a couple of launch races they've already done, launch days, and they've been super successful. Let's just dive right in. Let's bring Philip and Bobby into the show here right now. They're joining us from the shop right now as well, out in California. It's only 5 o'clock there. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us here on Face2Face.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Obviously very exciting. We'll get into, for those of you who don't know, Bobby's been around the sport for many, many years. We'll come to Bobby later. Phil, let's just start with you. Let's start with, give us your background in motorsport, then roll into kind of how you connected with Rotax to get this thing rolling here in the U.S.
Yeah, thanks again for having us. Well, my background is not as extensive as Bobby's here. I've been a motorsports enthusiast my whole life, and I started karting in my 30s, actually, in Ocala in Florida, which is where I met Bobby. And after some owner-driver races, I went to the UK and joined Club 100, which is basically what this is born out of, what we're going to talk about, and raced with them for 5 years, and then came back to California and raced club racing here, but wanted to develop something really as a way of giving back for all the joy and stuff I've had out of motorsport. So yeah, it's pretty limited, my background in terms of racing myself, but a lifelong enthusiast.
So obviously with the Rotax program, you had to take this concept when you came back, a lot of capital investment, obviously, to put this arrive and drive carts together. How many carts do you guys actually have in the fleet?
I have 21 at the moment.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get together with Rotax? Was it being part of the Club 100 program there? Is that where you kind of connected with Rotax? And when did this actually kind of get rolling to create Formula KFX?
Well, there's a little backstory in that I was racing in the UK, and I really, really loved the concept. I knew I was going to come back to live in the States, and I thought this would be so good in the US. And I hadn't really seen anything like it. Of course, the geography of the UK is very different to here. It's really small and intimate, whereas here everything is so spread out. But I thought, if we could make this work in a state such as California, where there are a lot of kart clubs, especially in the NorCal area, that'll be something to consider. I was introduced to Ronnie Sala at Burrell by John Viger, who is the founder and owner of Club 100. And our initial conversations were about relaunching Easy Kart here in the US, in California. And I looked at it, and it just didn't seem to be the right thing. There was a lot of four-stroke karting going on. And so I then started a thing called Kart Project X, which is evolved into KPX, which is a NorCal-based karting championship associated with Briggs, right? So a couple of guys took that over from me once we kind of did the initial discussions and put it together. And I still had this itch to do something like Club 100. And then they contacted me from the UK and said, look, we switched over to Rotax from TKM. They love the concept. They really want to do something internationally. Phil, you could do this in the US. Are you interested? And so that was about 15, 16 months ago.
Wow.
And I went over to Sarno to grand finals and met Stefan from Rotax and Alex and John. We chit-chatted through, and then I just basically made my decision straight away. This is what I want to do with the rest of my career, is devote it to this. I don't have any doubt I'm going to do it. So I just bought into it immediately, and here we are.
And then I got a call after about 20 years of not talking to him.
So let's talk about that. The connection. How did you guys meet?
Yeah.
You mentioned Ocala Grand Prix. Again, some of the people in the industry or even in karting today don't know what Ocala Grand Prix was or is. Talk about kind of how that formulated.
Yeah, I was a driver instructor in Ocala Grand Prix, and Philip was one of my students. He had consistently took classes, and I was actually quite surprised the first time out. I go, "Are you sure you haven't driven any, go-karts?" And he's like, No, I just do sim racing." And I'm like, "Oh, all right."
Now, I was a beta tester for iRacing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of sim time at home. Not really
That's
racing.
awesome.
Maybe Dave came up. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that don't know, if you're obviously, we talk a lot about the fact that we get turnover every 3 to 4 to 5 years in the sport. So there aren't as many people that were around when Bobby was one of the best drivers in the sport, former Superkarts USA Pro Moto Tour champion, the first year of Scusa's national championship. Did that, won a lot of big races on the East Coast, 125 shifter kart racing, moved into cars after that, did a bunch of Formula car racing, was a winner there as well. So again, very talented driver. Been driver coaching for many, many years. So somebody just popped in here, former king of the streets as well. Yeah, former king of the streets.
USF 2000.
Yeah, USF 2000. Yeah. You were good in the streets. You won the street circuit race down in where was that again? The one in Texas,
Houston.
No, where did we go in Austin? Remember the race in Austin, the street race in Austin we did when you rejoined First Kart with and then with Leary doing the motors for you.
Yeah, that was
Paul Leary, high tech. So there you go, just setting some stage. But Bobby was, of course, one of the top drivers in sport for many, many years. Moved on to USF 2000, as you said, the Cooper Tire Z-Tech series. So you have all the experience. When did the phone call come, Philip? When did you say, "Hey, listen, I got all these carts. And after this, we're going to jump in real quickly, and you're going to give us just an overview of the Rotax Racing Club California." But you got these go-karts. You got to have somebody there. So is Bobby half tech, half coach kind of a thing?
Well, we kind of would say we hadn't spoken. It had been sporadic, hadn't we? I mean, it might be 5 years and we'd have a catch up on Facebook or something. And then we started talking a little bit more the last 2 or 3 years frequently. And then I said to Bobby, "Hey, I'm doing this series. What do you think?" And you can tell me.
Yeah, well, I was back in Ocala when he bought a cart. I prepped it for him, and
Rotax.
Yeah.
First kart, Rotax.
He liked how my attention to the details and everything. He knew this would be in good hands.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just want the best people, and I'm a basic. I know I can build a car. It'd take me a month to do it, but I can do it well. But I want the best people, and I always say we all have a lane. We should stay in our lane. Yeah. We can learn what everybody else is doing, but we should not get out of our lane. And my lane is this aspect. Bobby's is the technical and the driving, etc. So we have our lanes.
I make sure the carts are exact. Like nobody's getting half a second off cart or anything.
Yeah, you got the equality there, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We had good reviews from our events so far. Like one guy even commented, he's like, "Man, I went through 3 different carts and did the exact same time." He's like,
"That's awesome. That is awesome." All right, so if you're tuning in right now, if you have any questions, these are always interactive, so feel free to pop them down in the comments. We'll see it here. We can bring those into the show here if you have any questions about the Rotax Racing Club California. We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodicart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sodi USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry.
I'm Ken Unger, president of Charge and a sponsorship strategist who's helped drivers and teams unlock sponsorship success for over 2 decades, from IndyCar and NASCAR to grassroots karting. In karting, horsepower is great, but sponsorship power? That's how you really move up the grid. Whether you're a parent fueling your driver's dreams or an 18-year-old ready to take the next step in your career, my sponsorship success method is your secret weapon. I'll show you how to build your brand, pitch like a pro, and turn maybe next year into let's sign today. Ready to land your first sponsor? Visit sponsorshipsuccessmethod.com and start your journey to sponsorship success today. That's sponsorshipsuccessmethod.com.
Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. Phil, let's go to you now, and let's just give us like the 30,000-foot view of it. What is the Rotax Racing Club? Just give us all the whole program, what it is, and what you guys are doing out in California.
So Rotax, as a company, decided they wanted to take the Club 100's Arrive and Drive concept, which is this Birel Rotax package, internationally, and basically have this in as many places as possible, bringing in people into karting that perhaps, couldn't, as you mentioned in the intro of the show. And so I have the promotional rights here in the US, started with California. I have my part of this is that I really want to give opportunities to young drivers. That's really where my heart is with all of this, that there's a lot of young kids that have ability, that need coaching, need an opportunity, and they can come in and race, and they don't have to worry about what the next person's racing. They know it's equal, and it's going to be all about driver ability at the end of the day, and that they have an avenue to go somewhere with it, because perhaps they're not going to be able to afford to become an owner driver, even if they're relatively successful in this series. So there is now, Rotax have this international final they've just announced, which is where probably initially everyone who is competing in the national clubs or statewide clubs here in the US will be allowed to go and compete. I'm sure will become more and more selective as it grows. But it's a chance for people again to go internationally and compete on a world stage. It's going to be in Genk next year, and race against guys from other countries who've been doing exactly the same thing. And again, the karts are going to be identical. And it's a world champion from this driver pool, juniors and seniors.
Yeah. So the kart itself, it's obviously Burrell art, Rotax package on it. There's a lot more bodywork on it, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
It is. I don't have it close at hand to show, but it's the Birel N35.
Okay.
It's essentially the chassis, the body. It's a stout version of a sprint car.
It's robust.
It's robust.
Robust. I like that. That's good.
Is it very similar to their outdoor model rental cart with a Rotax engine on it, or do they make adjustments to it to make it obviously fit the Rotax engine, or is there anything else aside from that?
Well, the engine goes on. It's very simple. Standard
okay.
engine. It's just a stout, bulkier car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Built to stand up to the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So
the trained eye, it looks the same as a traditional sprint car, but we know it's a little bulkier. It's certainly heavier. But it's
so Phil, 4 race championship coming up, right? We'll go to that in a bit. But you guys started it off by doing a couple of launch dates. On one in the middle of August and one in earlier, so like a couple of days ago, right? Last week. So tell us how they went. Obviously, your first opportunity. You guys roll all these carts out. You've done some marketing, you did some promotion. You're on social media. How did it go? What was the debut like?
I think it was very good. I mean, I was very conservative in my estimate of how many people would come, and we had a lot more. I think 87 the first time.
Wow.
So I had offered 5 half-hour test sessions in the day. So we got like 4 back-to-back half-hour tests for a group of 18 to 20 drivers. Each have a cart for half an hour, a little break, turn everything around. Next group, same thing, 4 times. And then in the afternoon, I was offering a feature race, which was basically a sampler of what these championship races are going to be like. And I evaluated the drivers in the morning, and I didn't actually have to turn anyone away, which was great.
And it was great racing.
It was great racing. We had the champion from Club 100 in the UK came over to visit and raced the Masters. They had a great race, he and Jarrett King. I think it was 33 100ths of a second at the line. We had some great racing with some juniors as well. So it was a great day. And then we re-racked and went again last weekend and had probably over 100 seats in the carts. I don't know how many individuals, but it was over
everybody leaves with a smile.
Yeah.
That's what
Well, that was going to be my next question, because it was a mix of people who have been in karting, I assume, and then some who are maybe relatively new. What was kind of the feedback from those who are relatively new to karting?
The newbies, most of them were, I've got an endurance race in November, which I'm holding. It's a lot of guys from Tesla and Waymo and Zoox and Lucid. It's not really a part of those companies, but it's those guys who work for them are having a kind of car company challenge, intercompany challenge. And a lot of them hadn't driven cars before or at all. And so some of those testing slots were filled up with those people wanting to come and test and be evaluated. And they ended up then signing up for the race. They were like, I love it so much. I can't do the race, and then they came back again this time and did another race. So the newbies, they weren't too far off. There were a couple of them that have a lot to learn still, but some of them were pretty quick straight away. I mean, 1.5, 2 seconds off, not too bad.
Yeah.
In the first time in the car.
So you got them hooked.
I got it worked.
That's it. Let's do this. It's perfect. I love the fact that it's bringing new people into the sport. That just, for me, that's always the best thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we could keep the carts like consecutive days, if we rented out the track more, they would buy up all the time.
Yeah.
So the championship itself, obviously at Sonoma Raceway, fantastic track, as we know, probably best view from the paddock of any track in North America. September 20th, so we got one coming up in just over a week and a half. October 11th, November 15th, December 13th. So mid-month for the next 4 months. What does it cost if somebody wants to do this? Let's talk about cost.
So it's $5.95 for a round.
Okay.
And for that, they have everything prepared for them. Fuel, tires. People asking about fuel and tires because it's a prepared package. They don't need to worry about that. It's all provided. They come, they have a driver briefing, and they can do a track walk as well. And then they go out and have a practice qualifying session. It's a 15-minute session where the first 10 minutes is a practice, and then it goes into a 5-minute qualifying session.
All right.
They have a break, then they have a pre-final of 15 minutes, another break, and a final of 15 minutes. So it's no heat races at the moment. We're just going to go with qualifying and race till we all get sort of familiar with.
Are there spots available still? I know you guys had so much interest at the launch. I expect people are jumping on board.
Yeah, there are some spots.
Okay.
Because, it's a 4-race championship. Some people already had plans for the first round and told me they could race from the second round to the end. So for that reason, this year I said, look, we'll take the best 3 results of the 4 because it's quite short notice. We're in the middle of the season, basically. And you can drop your lowest score. So I guess if people are missing the first round, they've used their mulligan already, but it allows more people to be in the run for a title.
I think that's fantastic. And so where is the expansion here? What's 2026 look like? Obviously you'll get this first year done. You've had your launch events. how does it all play out then for 2026? How does the program evolve going forward?
So, a carryover into 26 from this year is that the champions of the 3 respective classes will get an all expenses trip to this Genk final in May next year. So that'll be on Formula KFX will be offering that to them. Flight, hotel, race entry for the junior lightweight champion, the 2 senior champions like that. So we're really excited to offer that. So far as the calendar, we're looking at 10 races next year. I've basically confirmed all the dates now. I think it's safe enough to say we'll have 10 rounds at 9 different tracks in California. So we're going to be
9 different tracks.
Yeah. So
wow, I caught us off guard.
Starting and finishing at Sonoma, and then we're going to go, roughly Dixon, Davis, Reading, Reno, Santa Maria, Buttonwillow, Adams Motorsports Park.
That's awesome.
Prairie City. I think there's 10 races.
Okay.
So February to November.
Now with the championship events, are you going to do kind of like an intro program and then the championships since you're traveling to all these different racetracks? Do you assume you're going to have the desire of some local people who may want to try it out, or is it just going to be strictly championship stuff?
Yeah, no, people can do a single round if they want. I mean, that's up to them. If they want to do a single round, if there are spots available, absolutely they're welcome. I mean, people who want to book a whole championship, they would start at the beginning of the year. They'd mark what they want to do, pay deposits for each race, and then they pay the full balance 2 weeks before each respective round. I may offer a deal if somebody wants to do the whole championship. I may discount that. But so far as people at tracks getting time, we have a pre-event testing session that the drivers can do in the morning of race day. So I mentioned what the schedule would be, but there'd be an extra half hour people could sign up for and have some extra track time.
Are they single day events?
They are,
single day events. Yeah, that's good. That's great. In and out. That's perfect. We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. Take advantage of the deals available through RTX USA Group, an official distributor for Rotax karting products in the United States. RTX USA Group provides Rotax engines, Mojo tires, and XPS products to dealers and competitors in the southern U.S. states, from their base in Florida all the way to California. Take advantage of their engine purchase offer, which gives you 2 sets of Mojo D5 tires when you purchase a Rotax Max Evo or the Rotax DD2 Max Evo. For those looking to add a Rotax Micro Max Evo MY20 or a Rotax Mini Max Evo MY-I20 to their lineup, those customers will be provided with 2 sets of Mojo D2 tires. Customers who purchase a Rotax Junior Max Evo won't be left out, also receiving 2 sets of Mojo D2 tires. RTX is also introducing the new Mojo Club, with opportunities to save on Mojo tires by bundling them together. Learn more about becoming a dealer or joining the Mojo Club by visiting rtxkarting.com today. Made in the USA. That's exactly what you get from Precision Karting Technologies. Based in Detroit, Michigan, PKT brings over 35 years of manufacturing experience to the sport of karting. Their passion for the sport began focusing around the Kid Kart platform and has expanded every year with hundreds of products designed to put you on the podium. Precision Karting Technologies is known around North America for their successful line of axles, available in all age groups. PKT manufactures a number of engine products for Comer, IAME, Rock, Rotax, and the popular Briggs & Stratton 206. A wide variety of chassis components for the many brands in the sport are available through PKT, including hubs, pedal risers, skid plates, and other hardware for your kart. Axle straightening, chassis adjustments, engine service, and specific CNC machining projects are available through their Motor City headquarters. To learn more about the many products and services available from Precision Karting Technologies, head to pktaxles.com. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. You kind of mentioned it a little bit. You mentioned you have the U.S. This is the Rotax Racing Club California. Are we going to see it? Are there going to be obviously hubs all over the country? Is that the plan?
I'd like to think so. I mean, I'm sure there will be other people that are interested in promoting as well, and that would be great. I mean, as long as we all can kind of sing from the same song sheet, I'm happy with that. I'd love to develop another series, 4 or 5 locations, so we can have national pods, as it were, or regions, and then we can have a national final, which would determine who goes to the world. That would be really cool. But I think that's a little ways off yet. We want to really get it right here first and know what we have works. I kind of believe if it will work in California, it's going to work everywhere.
Yeah. Do you anticipate any other potential launch events again next year? I know launch event isn't the word, but an opportunity that's not a racing event for people to come out and kind of try the program again. Obviously, you had huge interest in just opening the door for people to try it. Is that something you would do as well, potentially?
Yeah, we'll definitely have pre-season testing in January. So there'll be probably a day or two similar, but probably just testing sessions at Sonoma, probably at Sonoma or one of the other tracks up in that area. Yeah.
Bobby, are you doing coaching on these as well? Is it kind of an active coaching program throughout the entire time? Are you watching these drivers and giving them tips kind of thing? You know what I mean?
That's the plan. I'm pretty busy during the day, but the plan is we're going to start integrating in Monday test days, for people that want to. It's always after the event. That way it gives us a day to prep the equipment.
Yep.
It's going to be a group, style coaching system. So we're working on that right now.
I can imagine. It's all the first time, right?
We want to make sure that this, when we kick off, the first race, everything is all in order, and we'll go from there. I haven't told Bobby this yet because I don't want to put any more work on his plate, but I have 9 juniors that want his coaching now. And I said, you've got to wait a little bit, but they want it before they start racing. And I totally understand that. But I said, what we can do is if they have a test session in the morning, Bobby can't really do any dedicated coaching, but I'm sure he'd be very happy to watch people carefully in their test session from where he's working and have a chat with them when they come in, a little bit of guidance. But, we'll sort it out.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Last few events, I'm doing things like calculating fuel mileage. So, just things that we got to know for, come race day.
Yeah, for sure.
That I've been focusing on more. So that,
For the 2 launch events that you guys had, have you had some support staff with assisting during these events? And are there going to be other support staff for the championship programs that you're doing?
Support staff, pit lane, or do you mean just to crew out on the track?
I mean, generally, I believe we've had some the Velez family. I think is
Phil Hand and his crew were out there last weekend. Josh has been our race director so far. Josh and actually a guy called Johnny Cope who works with Phil Hand. Very, very good. So we've got a track crew that come. There's one group that comes with the Velozes. Phil has another crew. So kind of alternating them, which is quite nice. We've got 2 active crews. And Bob has a colleague of his that's coming to work with us.
My buddy Mike Gaglione. I did some East Race Trans Am and
awesome.
He's flying into all of our events to work with Bobby in the pits.
I need somebody that can read my mind.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, sometimes you never quite know, right?
It's refueling and chain lubing.
Yeah.
For it to fuse
listen, you're doing all the work that people would be doing if they had their own go-karts. So obviously, I was going to say Bobby's pretty busy running the tech side of it too, right? So I get that.
I said to somebody the other day, who had been an owner driver, I said, you know what it's like being an owner driver, and you've just got to care about yourself and your car. You put yourself in that position, but you've got 21 carts to deal with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, I said, so. Okay, you'll have to wait a minute.
Leave Bobby alone. Don't talk to Bobby.
Yeah. You have one of those pull tabs with a number.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is good stuff. This is a fantastic program. Of the early days, you had a couple of launch events. As Bobby said, you guys were you're kind of learning what the cart needs, fuel mileage, when we have to refill, the whole deal. There's obviously you guys are going to be learning a lot, have already for the first couple events, but yeah, excited. September 20th, first round. I'm sure you guys are pretty pumped up for that for sure.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
excited.
definitely. Everything's been going good. No major drama. Like we've had our game plan, and it just is like the pieces are falling into place. So,
Phil, if people want to get with you guys, where do they go? What's the website? Are you guys, the social media channels? Where do you want people to follow you, and where do you want them to go for information?
Yeah, so Instagram's pretty active. Our marketing lady is pretty busy on there. So that's at Formula KFX, and then we've got the usual LinkedIn and all those things. Then we've got the website is formulakfx.com. And on there, you can read about the series. You can register for events. You can send emails in, and the phone number's on there as well. So they can text and message us and any information they have. It's good. I can probably say this on here. It's a good opportunity that, we provide everything for our drivers, but we don't provide their uniform, their safety gear. They have to do their own uniform, their own driver's suit, right? The helmet, the neck brace, gloves and shoes. And they don't have to be the highest end. The helmet, because it's an arrive and drive in California, you can use a DOT rated helmet. It's full face with visor. They're plenty safe. So, as long as everything's in good condition.
And ballast.
And ballast. Yeah, we have a limited amount of ballast. We can't be hauling 400 pounds of ballast in front of a race. So I have 100 pounds roughly of ballast available if people need it. But I have a guy here in Salinas. He's made some up for one of the drivers already. I'm going to take it up for him next week. But all they need to do is call in and order it. They're really good. It's custom made for these carts. Beautiful job. Awesome. Stainless steel.
Drop on the post.
Yeah, drop on, pin it on. Can do 28 pounds of ballast on the cart.
Okay.
On those posts.
So explain how that works. Like the drivers get their transponder, number plate, and then they're in charge of those two things and their ballast.
Right. So when a driver comes in, they do registration in the morning. If they need a seat insert, they just grab the one that's in the office. They go stand on the scales fully dressed. We note their weight, right? And then we just say, okay, you're going to need X amount of ballast. Once they've been a few times, they'll see the consistency in what they own. So, for example, senior lights are 172 pounds. So if they're like 165, we say you need 8 to 9 pounds of ballast, right? And they get it made, or we give it to them this first time. And the
carts are in rotation, so you never get
the same cart. Yeah.
It's like you can't pick and choose, know.
So you go out, you put, you're the first one to get to the grid, you get the front cart. That's it. You just go and take it, put your number plate on, put your transponder in and your ballast on, your seat insert, off you go. At the end of the session, you get out, you take the ballast off, you put it where it needs to be. You take the transponder number off, you put it on the table for the next person who's using cart 3. They get those two things. And when it comes to the races, the first, second, and third place carts go off into Parc Fermé line. So they're not the primary carts in the next race. We use 18 cart grids with 21 carts, so there's always 3 on the side.
Yeah, Ashley's helping us out there.
Oh, Ashley.
Top 3 carts.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah, Ashley's been wonderful. She's really great.
They're great.
That'd be a great video to see, is kind of that transition of when you register, what you're carrying, how you get in, put all that stuff in the cart. It'd be a great video to see kind of on social media for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Note that down. David Cole come up with great ideas.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, guys, listen.
Because again, that's something different from normal karting. Not a lot of people walk around with a transponder and ballast in their hands when they go to a cart, right?
Right. But it just keeps it rotating, and no one can say, well, so and so's been in the same cart all day, and that's where they've won everything. And I really like that. I really do.
Honestly, they're all the same.
That's it. That's the beauty of it. Well, I'll say this. We talk a lot. People ask us what we think of how good the sport is right now, and I've been doing this for a long time, 30 years now, and the sport's never been as good as it is right now. The major events we have, there was a time when Bobby remembers this when he was running top level. The series be around for 3 years and be gone. Right? We had the SCUSA Pro Moto Tour, then the Stars of Karting, and then CKI, and it was a mess. We've got great stability in Superkarts USA, USPKS, Route 66. You got the Stars Championship now. CKNA Grand Nationals for Briggs guys is going to be 600 entries potentially this year. So the sport is fantastic. But what you guys are doing, I love, is because it's going to make it even better. the more people we can bring in the bottom of the pyramid, the better. It costs money, as you guys know, to buy a cart now. It's you're $6,500 probably for a four-cycle cart, 13, 14, 15 grand for a shifter. So you guys are allowing people to come into this sport without having to put that big cash outlay. And that is going to, we always say, if we can feed the bottom, we can feed that foundation, which is the bottom of the pyramid, club racing. It is awesome. I'm happy what you guys are doing, and good on you. This is great stuff for the sport.
I think one thing I said the other day to someone was, you take all our races for the season next year. It's, basically $6,000 for 10 races. If you're the championship winner, you're going to find yourself sitting on the grid for an international world final, having spent just $6,000. And I know that's a lot of money. I know 6,000 is a lot of money. I say just, but in relative terms in motorsports, that's back pocket change.
It won't pay for one weekend with a big team on the promoter of the Pro Tour.
You're not worried about like the flavor of the day. Like, do I have the best, motor? Or you're not always questioning the equipment that you have. It's like, this is it. Like,
it's about the driver. This is about the driver.
Yeah.
All about the driver. And that's what the driver at night, to put their head down on their pillow and know that what they achieved is from their own ability.
Exactly that.
Their own work, And things happen. Of course, things break down. That's inevitable in motorsports. Things happen, force majeure or whatever you want to call it. But there's always something. But by and large, whatever they achieve and experience is going to be of their own making. And I love that. Well,
guys, man, we appreciate you coming on this edition of Face to Face. Great to talk to you. Always something brand new. Looking forward to seeing how the first race goes on September 20th. Again, 4 races here to the end of 2025, and then a 10-race schedule in 2026. Let's still let us know. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll drop you guys into the back room. Don't go anywhere. I want to chat with them when we're all said and done. But thanks for taking the time to be on this edition of Face to Face.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. Thanks, David. Thanks.
Well, DC, man, this is good stuff right now. When I talked about the fact that sports is such a great place, the major championships getting big numbers, industry is strong. I throw in the Margay Ignite program as well. There are so many great programs, and again, Rotax is one of them. It's obviously a massive program globally. We talk a lot about how much we love the grand finals, Rotax grand finals, but a different component here for Rotax going to the club level, right? Pulling off that Club 100 program in the UK. I think this is going to be a big thing for karting in the US.
Yeah, and we've always talked about how the Rotax engine itself is great for club racing because, again, you put 70 hours, 50 hours to 70 hours on an engine in regular competition karting. So, again, it's a great combination of doing this. And, again, that kind of transition in our own ladder system and karting to get people out of rental karts to in between competition karts. It's very fun. And, again, Sonoma, I mean, this is a very lucrative and thing. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to go drive there? Again, we talk about that racetrack as one of the best. And like Bobby said, like the racing is always was phenomenal. The racetrack does that as well too. So this is a great opportunity to race at an amazing racetrack itself and an up and coming program that again is focused on driver development and fun too. Because a lot of people are doing this for the fun of it. That's right.
We'll keep an eye on EKN. We'll have a bit of a report after that first race of the championship. Again, the Rotax Racing Club California from Formula KFX. Again, a great opportunity to bring new people into the sport. Full program next year. The international final in Gate next May. So again, just another kind of a Rotax deal where you've got that international final, bring everybody together. At the end of the season or the start of another season. So. Great stuff to have Phil and Bobby with us. The program at Sonoma Raceway, September 20th, the first event for this 4-race program to cap off the year. Spots still available if you want to go racing in this Rotax-powered Burrell machine. It's going to be a lot of fun, but great to have them with us. Dave, thank you so much for getting back here as well. I know late for you and I here. Again, those of you tuned into this edition of Face to Face, thank you so much, folks. We'll turn this into a podcast. It'll be available on all the platforms, you name it, but you can always go back to YouTube or Facebook to watch it as well. We do appreciate Phil and Bobby joining us from the Rotax Racing Club California. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden.